Hello and welcome to the Bigger Flips podcast. This is not the podcast. Welcome to Bigger Flips Facebook Live. I'm Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to flip houses, and if you're already doing it, how to do it bigger. So, I did a series on the tools that we use when we talk to sellers, right? And the basics are the things that may elicit a seller to some kind of problem that we're going to solve for the seller, and things that we have to mention when we're talking to a seller that may bring up something that the seller would agree to sell a property at a discount, which is how we have to buy them. So we spoke about post-closing possession, which means letting the seller live there after you close. There are people who don't know that exists. We talked about speed, whether that's fast or sometimes they just want an open-ended contract because they don't have a place to go. We spoke about not having to clean the property, which sounds crazy, but you can watch the video on it. It's gotten me a lot of houses, not having to clean the property, taking it as is. What else was there? Convenience. You're not going to have to show the property a lot. Certainty that I have no outs in my contract, as opposed to other states. In New York, every contract I go into, I have to either close or assign. And somebody asked me about price. But what about price, right? Now, on the logic, on the surface, you would think that price would be really the most important thing. Now let me tell you something. If price is the most important thing to a seller, they are not going to sell it to you at a discount. And I've said that to hundreds, if not 1,000 sellers. Listen, if you're looking to squeeze every dollar out of this property, I'm not going to be your best option, right? You should list it, and then I give them the pros and cons of listing versus the pros and cons of selling to any investor, obviously including me. If price is what you're going with, you are A, going to make very little money because you're usually in competition with other sellers, and B, you are not the best option for somebody who's looking for the most money. So a really good thing to say to sellers is, listen, me or any other investor, we're all going to be around the same area of price. What else is important to you? You can say that. You want to find out what's important to them. But I'll tell them straight up, listen, if you sell to me, you're going to make less money, but I'm going to close. The price is my price. I'll close whenever you want. You don't have to clean anything. And you don't have to show it 100 times. You know, if you want to make more money, you can list it, but just understand you're going to be on a buyer's timeline. You are going to have to make this place broom clean, get everything out of here. You are going to have to be aware that the buyer is going to give you a price, and then they're going to send an inspector who's probably going to try to knock down the price. They're also going to send an appraiser who may make you do other repairs. So, and you're going to show it 100 times. They can call you in the middle of the night and say, hey, somebody's in the area, sounds like a great buyer, and then they don't show up. And these are the things that happen. And the best part is, you got a regular buyer who's got a mortgage contingency. They can basically just flake out on you and say, after 4 months, because that's how long it takes in New York sometimes, we didn't get approved for the mortgage, and jerk you around. So, and everything I just said is 1,000% true. All those things have happened to me when I sell properties. So, price should not be your main tool. If price is your main tool, you are looking to really have a difficult business. And when we get into this business on a superficial level, we think that it's all going to be about price. So if I'm the highest offer, right? But you've got to understand they have other options besides you and besides other investors. So you have to not have price as your main tool, or even as a tool at all. I tell people straight up, if you sell it to me, you are leaving money on the table. The reason why you might want to do that is because of the certainty, convenience, and control that I provide. So that's being honest, and we cannot convince anyone to sell to us if they don't want to sell, and we cannot really convince people that want to list to sell to an investor. It just doesn't work that way. If they don't have a problem that we can solve, then we're not going to buy the house, and that happens a lot. So I hope this was helpful. Oh, someone knocked that whole piece down. Interesting. I hope this was helpful, and all my information is below, and thank you very much for watching.